We're continuing our coverage of how Facebook is responding to the perfect storm it found itself in last week. I'm Shayan Shakil. I'm with Jeremy Lawrence. You're watching Inside AB. So Jeremy, can you tell us, is this really the perfect storm or is this a storm in a teacup?
Well, it's obviously a big subject. Facebook, one of the world's biggest and most profitable companies. And so this has been a huge knockback for them, and it's on our cover story this week. We had some interesting viewpoints, though, in the story that we put together. And one came from Alex Rouser, CEO of Prototype, a Dubai-based social media agency. And he pointed out something, kind of like a step back and let's have a look at this. The reality is, okay, delete Facebook, stop using it, but users will go onto another social media platform where the same thing will happen. And it's not just social media platforms. Every site you go on the internet practically, they want to know about their users so they can serve you better, so they can know their customers, or so they can pass that data on and you can have things sold to you.
Right, so there's no such thing as a free lunch then?
No. If you aren't the, what was the phrase that we heard this week?
If you don't pay for the service, then you are the product.
Yes, that's it.
All right, excellent. So now you've also mentioned that Facebook is one of the world's largest social media companies, one of the largest companies in the world. Does that mean that it's too big to fail?
Yes, in a nutshell. It has over 2 billion users and it's been active for well over a decade. It's really integrated into all our lives personally and professionally as individually. And of course, many businesses, it's their lifeblood. And for advertisers, there are still fewer better products to get that message out on many levels. It's part of the mix for everyone. So yes, some people might switch off in a huff. And yes, it's a controversy, but Facebook is pretty much here to stay, at least as far as we can tell.
Right, but there has been a certain dent in the trust department that Facebook has suffered.
Yeah, and I think trust is the biggest word that's come out of this so far. Mark Zuckerberg was criticized last week for not coming out soon enough, and he finally did that, and trust is the word he used. You know, Facebook is still something that we're very attached to, whether we like it or not. And we do basically trust that it's not going to do anything too bad with our data. So whether it's broken the law or not, and it probably hasn't, it's not good that this has happened. And what Mark Zuckerberg needs to do is keep coming out and keep saying, we're sorry and we want to make this right, and he has to mean it.
Right. Now, he did come out on Wednesday last week in an interview with CNN, but he was 5 days late. That probably wasn't the right step to take, but what are some steps Facebook can take to restore that trust deficit?
Well, I mean, you can expect him to do a lot more PR in the coming sort of days and weeks, and he is good at it, so that will work. But I think this is an ongoing mission that started last year with all the fake news scandals that were happening. I think they realised they'd made a serious misstep when early they said that they're not a publisher, when in fact they're the world's biggest publisher, clearly, and that their algorithms do have a say in what goes where on their site. You know, it isn't a free-for-all, it's a very highly tuned machine in some respects. So, and I think you spoke to Joel Kaplan, and we quoted him in our feature. He's the global head of public policy. You spoke to him last year, and he said they were already on this mission to make Facebook not just somewhere where you kill time, but a force for good. So they've started that mission last year, and that process needs to continue, and it needs to ramp up.
Right, excellent. So this is an ongoing story. We're probably going to have you on here again and again to get your insights on the story and the matter. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and comment below, and tune in for another edition of Inside AB tomorrow at 10 a.m.